Hey you guys, Alyse Williams here, and I gotta say, of all the videos that I've made, and I mean we're talking probably a couple hundred videos at this point, this is pretty significant video. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've kind of haven't really been making videos since before the end of the new year, and I've really been going through a huge internal transformation, and I've shared some of it with you guys, and there's a lot of it I haven't shared with you because it's been just very personal, and a lot of things that I couldn't even express while I was going through it. I just had to kind of, work through these different things. But I had a hugely, tremendously big realization a couple nights ago. And it was very important for me to come and share it with you because I have become very close with you guys, and you guys have come to know me really well, and you know that if something really big is happening in my life, I'm going to share it with you. So I want to kind of take you through a little bit of a journey with me and tell you and share with you the conclusion that I came to a couple of nights ago, and really just share some deep, gut-wrenching feelings that I've been having. As a lot of you guys know, I've been a mom. Obviously, I have 4 young children. I have an 18-year-old stepson, and then I have 4 young children that are now 9, 7, 5, and almost 2. And when I first got married, I never got into the corporate thing. I wasn't about being this super businesswoman. I really wanted to be a mom. That was just what I wanted to do. And so God blessed me with these 4 amazing children. I'm talking beautiful, smart, caring, thoughtful, just really amazing kids. And over these last 9 years that I've had kids, I've been getting this internal feeling, and my husband really inspired this whole entrepreneurial spirit within me. And so I've basically spent the last 8 to 9 years, gradually and more pursuing and digging into this entrepreneurial spirit. And I've always done fitness. That isn't really an entrepreneurial thing. It's just something that I started in college and really enjoyed, and was just really naturally talented with. And then got involved in network marketing and had some really great success in that industry. And throughout these last few years, I've really just been kind of having this inner independence of wanting to do something on my own, not with Eric, just really wanted to prove to myself that I could do something completely and 100% on my own. And this has been like a journey that's been going on for a few years now. And what I realized, I'm going to share with you a lot of things that I realized, but I realized that I was really becoming very competitive. I guess I'm naturally kind of a competitive person, but I was becoming competitive with my husband. He would do something and I would feel like, well, I have to top that, or I have to, compete with him. And it just, competitive energy, it really isn't typically positive. So I realized that I was stressing myself out, like trying to compete. And so, ventured out in the network marketing world on my own and was building a team and doing well, and something just didn't feel right. I had this internal belief that it was something I was pretty good at and could be really good at. But when I was really building it, I was completely stressed out. And I was completely stressed out not simply because I was building a business. I was completely stressed out because I completely put my kids to the wayside. I was always on the phone. I was always doing a webinar. I was always doing a 3-way call. And, shushing them and, webinar time. Okay, guys, you know what to do. And, they'd go to their room, and I became this mother who was in such hot pursuit of my entrepreneurial thing that I realized, and I kind of started to notice that my attitude was changing and just getting kind of snippy. And any parents out there, you will really recognize the fact that your kids are a complete reflection of you. So if they're getting an attitude, you need to check yours. If they're being snippy with each other, you need to check if you're being snippy with them. And I would catch myself and hear myself being just not the parent that I have an expectation to be. I have a very high level of expectation of the type of parent that I want to be, because I think parenting is a huge responsibility. And I have these 4 young children that are absolutely brilliant, and I do not want them to become teenagers or young adults or mature adults and me think about the fact that I did not nurture them as much as I could. And all of this is intertwined with, coming up on the 1-year anniversary, still get cheered up, of losing my mom, last May, and just really realizing the importance of motherhood. And didn't expect to cry. But I really had to pull back and analyze, because, I've been a part of several companies and was about to join another one because I really like it and was able to partner with a really strong leader, and I really liked the product and just everything about it. It was just very, very exciting, and I was about to jump full force into it, and there was something stirring inside of my soul saying, you need to step back and really check yourself on some things. And so Eric and I ended up having this 3-hour conversation, which I'm basically condensing into a matter of minutes now. But through the course of this conversation, I was able to realize that, yes, I have this entrepreneurial spirit. I do believe that I'm a great leader, great inspiration, could run a very, very successful business. But in order to do that, first of all, I know what it takes to create a very tremendously successful network marketing business. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, to really get it going. That kind of, sit back and put your feet up and live on the residual. That takes a while to build. And I've done it, and it's a lot. It really, really is a lot. I kind of wrote some notes down. But I realized that I had so many things on my plate that I was kind of doing a lot of things half-ass, and that's not really the way I like to do things, especially now as I mature. I'm 40 and I see time ticking away, and I'm like, man, I really want to be great at something for the rest of my life. And it may not be the same thing, but I really had to come to terms with the fact that for the next 10 years, what I really not only want to be great at, but really need to be great at, is being a tremendous mother to my kids, because they are truly a gift, and it is a tremendous responsibility. And God has given me, not just kids, just some really, really extraordinary kids. So when I really thought about, my priorities and needing to remove something from my plate, I realized between being a wife and being a mom, I'm not going to remove those off my plate. Being in network marketing and being this online marketing, just big presence, something had to go. And also, by the way, I've partnered with this woman that owns a local gym, and we're launching this hugely fabulous fitness program, this whole, transformation fitness program. So by the way, I've been doing that too, and I have all these things on my plate. So what do I need to get rid of? And I realized that the two things that really kind of raise my stress level, consume the most of my time when my kids are around, are network marketing and being online. And when I was talking about this with Eric and just really considering the fact, I had never even really considered the fact of letting those things go. and really focusing on being a great wife, being a great mom, and running a tremendously fabulous local fitness program, that's enough. That's enough. Like, I don't need more than that to prove to myself or to anybody else that I'm this great success. And in reality, I'm really limiting my success because I have too much going on, and it's impossible to give those things the time and the effort that they require. So, Eric and I kind of wrap up this conversation, and it was unbelievable, the weight that was immediately lifted from my spirit when I thought about really prioritizing those things and pushing everything else aside. Everything else aside. I'm not saying forever, and I am involved in a coaching program that I'm absolutely going to finish, and I'm going to stay in relationship with those people, and they're going to have my cell phone number and call me whenever they need to. But as far as my day-to-day activities, focus, time, energy, effort, it's not going to be in those things anymore. And let me just share with you, immediately after I came to that realization, it was a decision. It wasn't even a contemplation. It was immediately a decision because I felt that weight lifted. And so I went and I sat down, the 3 older ones, and I looked them in the eye and I said, what would you think if all that time that mommy's behind the computer and talking about business and doing, all of these calls and all these things that keep mommy so busy, what do you think if I took all that time and gave it to you guys? And y'all, I'm telling you, literally all 3 of them at the same time went, the excitement in their spirit was incredible. It was incredible. And my Simeon, you guys know Simeon, he's little Mr. Entrepreneur, 7 years old. First question out of his mouth is, are you sure you want to do that? Because he knows how much I love being in business. I love running a business. And he said, are you sure you want to do that? And I said, you know what? I am. I said, you guys are more important to me than any business that I could have, any amount of money that I could make from any of those businesses, because time is something that I can never get back. And I want to put that time into you guys. And he turns around and says, 7 years old, okay? Tell me I don't have brilliant kids. He says, are you sure you want to make that sacrifice? He asked me, are you sure you want to make that sacrifice of giving those things up? And I just got the hugest grin on my face, and I said, yes, I'm sure. And, over the last 24 hours, I've really had time to think about it, and I'm not going to lie and say there's still not that tug like with this new business I was going to start. Like, I really like it, and there's still a huge part of me that wants to do it. But it is about making a sacrifice. So am I going to sacrifice this business, or am I going to sacrifice my kids? And for me personally, I'm not saying this to say this is what you women need to do. It's not it at all. I'm sharing with you my heart and something that I realized. But I realized that I'm willing to sacrifice my business venture, something that I can do 10 years from now, for my kids, because time and energy are 2 very, very valuable resources. And I was so stressed out and pushing myself beyond my limits, really, and sacrificing my kids in the process. So you will not be seeing as much of me on here. Who knows? This may inspire a totally different track of videos that I'm going to start to share with you, but it's not even a thought in my mind right now, to be honest. The only thoughts in my mind right now are loving on my husband, loving on my kids, being a huge influence to my kids, and making sure that every day I am motivating them and inspiring them to their fullest potential, and creating this totally kick-ass fitness program 1.5 miles up the road that I completely do while my kids are at school and while my daughter's taking a nap. So I love you guys beyond measure, And I'm going to put my email here. I'm not going to be checking Facebook 10 times a day like I normally do. But I will check my email definitely a couple times a day. But I really just wanted to share this with you. I love you guys a lot. And the relationships that I've created here, I don't want them to go anywhere. But this is another thing, I didn't even write this down, that I realized about network marketing is that I wasn't even creating the type of friendships that I knew I could because everyone to me was a prospect. Everyone to me was a prospect. So now I'm really looking forward to just genuinely creating true friendships, no ulterior motive. I'm not trying to get you in my business or market my product. So that means a lot to me too. That was a huge revelation for me. So anyway, love you guys. Wanted to share. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback. And I will talk to you soon. Later.